At TTM Trades, I just wanted to record a quick video on ticker SPY. I've been taking a lot of calls and put options, just trading in swings, and I think we're in for a another pullback on this one. And I don't want to say nothing too crazy as far as the downtrend. As you can see, we are still in the uptrend. Right here, I got the daily chart on my right and the 30-minute chart on my left. The pattern I'm pretty much going to show you is going to be on the 30-minute chart. But you can see we're still in an uptrend. We're above that middle Bollinger Band and the double Bollinger Band trading strategy. RSI is still above its averages. And as you see here, the PMO is still holding above its long-term average and crossing back above its short-term average. So we are still in a day-to-day uptrend. Now, I do see intraday pullback here. And what we're going to do, we're going to kick up to the 2-hour chart on the right, 30-minute chart on the left. Now, I have puts on the SPY, okay? And the reason is because I think we're going to get a deeper pullback here, possibly to 388. Worst case scenario, 380, all right? But just looking at this, right, 30-minute signals is what I normally trade when I really want to get a good entry. I use the 30-minute intraday chart. But we'll go back here, and I just want to show you the signals. And with each signal, there's normally a shakeout period. So right here, back on December 30th on ticker SPY, right, I got the sell signal as far as taking puts. When that PMO loses that upward momentum, as you see here, and begins to slow down and it crosses over its short-term average, that kind of lets me know that the momentum to the upside is slowing down. So I normally exit my long position, which I would have taken back here. I don't think I made a trade on this around that time, but I would have taken that long position here as I got the signal, exited that position here. Now, each one of these periods, there's a shakeout period, as you can see, where there's like this high spike in price action where it rises rapidly, or the price action goes back to retest highs and make a newer high, and then you get the sell-off. But we never chase this because as far as the PMO, we flatten this all the way out, so that way it ignores all these small moves like this. Now, the RSI will react to every last one of those moves, but we normally use those small moves on the RSI as a good point when the RSI and the PMO contradicts itself to either make an entry to the downside, or if the PMO is trending upwards and the RSI takes a mean dip, that's a good opportunity to get in to the upside. But again, looking, we got the signal here to take puts in the short term. And then if you see, we got this shakeout period here. All right. Now, if we were to chase this right here to the upside, then you'll get this immediate sell-off. But as you see, even though that wide swing to the upside, the PMO never got back above its average. And then the price action was consolidating. And then you get this breakdown in price action with a lot of volatility, hence the Bollinger Band with breaking out to the upside. And then the PMO completes that move to the downside, okay? And then again, you get your entry signal here, right? But we're not talking about entry signals. Then we get another exit signal here. PMO starts to flatten out. Again, we take that exit signal, and then as you can see here, right, I would have took the exit signal right as we crossed that short-term moving average on the PMO. Again, RSI is below its average, trending downwards. We take that entry signal here with the expectation that we're going to get a nice dip down to the 150 SMA, and then you get the price action that runs up over the course of the next 2 days, possibly, intimidating you if you have weak hands on your puts and you're not following your signal, right? So this run up again here in the price action, if you entered here, this run up and breaking above you, that previous entry area where I took my puts, this would normally shake you out, but I stuck with my signal as far as the PMO. Even though we get this run up again, that momentum to the upside is very weak. We never get back above its average. We get to the short term and we get rejected, and then you get that sell off here. All right. Then again, you get another entry signal. We took that entry to the upside. Again, PMO begins to flatten out, right? As we see the PMO flatten out, again, we take puts to the downside as we start to get the signal with the PMO crossing down, RSI trending below its averages. And then again, you get this crazy run up in price action, right? If you started to take puts, you get this crazy run up in price action, which will probably shake you out of your position, right? But again, I'm looking at the PMO to see if it's crossing back above its averages, and it never gets back above its average. And then you get this crazy dip down, opening the following day or two. I'm not sure when that drop was. Okay, so then we follow our signals. Even on this crazy run up here, if you look, PMO never gets back above its average. It's showing you that momentum is still strong to the downside. We took this one to the downside. And then again, PMO fully crosses the short-term average here, right, which is another buy signal. So we take this to the upside, right? And this is the most recent trade that we're in, right? We're still in that buy signal, buy signal, buy signal. Bam, PMO starts to cross right here, right? So following the signal, we take puts. All right, as we take puts, you get another strong run up right here, right? And if you took puts here, you're down on your puts because again, you get another run up like this, which would probably shake you out of your position. But again, I'm looking at the PMO. If you look at the PMO, yeah, it got above its short-term average, but it never got back above its long-term average here. And you can already see the PMO is starting to cross over because that momentum to the upside has already faded. And now you see the PMO is going back to a downward momentum with the RSI fully crossed back over again. And you can see here that breakout on the Bollinger Bandwidth that happened. You can see that it's starting to pull back to show that move is consolidating and slowing down. All right. So for me, I think we're just in a shakeout period for those who may have took a short position back in this area. You got that strong run up, shake you out of your position. And then I think what's going to happen here, if we continue to follow the PMO, right, because it hasn't gotten back above its averages, the PMO continue to trend downward, and we might get another drop back to the downside where I'm expecting 290 as the first test, which would be right here, back where we was originally hitting that support. And then we're looking at 288. So 290 to 288. If we lose that 290 to 288, then we're talking about much deeper pullbacks, possibly to 390 to 388, excuse me. And if we lose that, then we're talking about much deeper pullbacks to that 380 to 381 arena. But I just wanted to show you that, with each one of those moves, for me, every time I get a signal, there's a shakeout period. And it's crazy for me because it's not every single time you get a shakeout period like that. Okay. But for the past 3 to 4 trades I've taken on the SPY, when I use my entry and exit signals, every time I get my exit signal, following that there's a shakeout period to try to shake out the weak hands, right? Or burn the shorts or whoever. And you get that shakeout period. And then once everyone gets shaken out, the price actions get pulled lower for a much deeper pullback. So we'll look to see what happens here. Even on the futures market, same thing happened, right? 30-minute chart, 2-hour chart. Now you're going to have much more data on the futures because it's almost trading 24 hours. But again, you got that same signal on the 2-hour chart, right? We got the signal to take puts to the downside, right? Even looking at futures markets, right? We got the signal to go long here, PMO crossover. We ride that to the upside, upside, upside. And then you get the signal to go short, right? Because that upside momentum is waning and is losing. You can see the price action consolidating that upside momentum moving sideways. We look at puts, and then you get this crazy move to the upside out of nowhere, right? And if you look at the PMO followed that move, but it never got back above its averages, and now it's already fading on the futures market. And you can see the RSI is way below its averages, pulling deeper, lower, lower. And looking now, even on the futures market, we're already starting to move lower. As you can see, that upward momentum has already subsided and waning. And the price action is consolidating for, it looks like a much deeper drop going into the rest of this week. So on the futures market, we'll probably see a open right around 390, back in this level where the price action really consolidated at. And then from there, we'll kind of see where we go. But again, I think this was just another shakeout period. This has happened over the past 3 to 4 trades. I'm not saying that we're going to go into a deep downtrend. All right. But what I am saying is that we're going to have a much deeper pullback into the week. Now, what I will say, just looking at ticker spiral, we'll pull up the 2-hour chart and then the daily chart. Just looking at the SPY, you can see that 2-hour chart is going into a very strong consolidation cycle. As you can see that Bollinger Band width is getting to a very low point, and you can see the bands are starting to catch up with the price action, showing that the upward momentum is slowing down on the 2-hour chart as the bands begin to catch up and constrict around the price action. And then the RSI is at a very extreme level. I don't use a 14-period RSI, I use the 30-period RSI. So once you get up into that 60 to 70 window, is very extreme. As you can see here, each time you get in that window, you get a pullback, right? So we're in that 60 to 70 window, and you can even see the moving averages are starting to converge on the RSI to show that the momentum to the upside is waning. So when you get a consolidation cycle like this with the upward momentum slowing down, you can expect a nice deep pullback. But right now, we're just going to look for that 390 pullback here, 2 hours chart, middle BB, right where the price action consolidated on the 30-minute chart, as we pointed out. If that doesn't hold and we fell at 390, then we're looking at 388 with a bottom one standard deviation sitting at. You lose that bottom one standard deviation, and we're looking at a much deeper pullback to the 150 SMA, which is right around 380 on a 2-hour chart, which correlates with the daily charts, middle BB, which is sitting at 381. Okay, so we'll see. But me personally, I'm expecting a pullback to this 380 to 381 area, and then from there we'll see where we go. All right, but till next time, TTM Trades, I'm out.